Hey everybody, Mr. The Fanboy here. This is my review of the August 26th edition of Impact Wrestling, and I must say this was an awesome show. Didn't really feel like reviewing Ring of Honor Wrestling tonight, but I will be doing a Ring of Honor video after this video is finished. But like I said, this was an awesome episode of Impact. The tag team match between Abyss and Manic versus the Wolves, the tag team title match between Abyss and Manic, the Revolution versus the Wolves, and the main event, which was the four-way match to decide who gets a shot at PJ Black's King of the Mountain Championship next week. Next week were the two matches I mostly tuned into this show first, and both of those delivered. But let's start off with the beginning. We started off with an awesome promo with Matt Hart with the Hardy Boys and EC3. This was the Impact. This was the episode of Impact where EC3 made the stipulation that if Matt Hardy beats him, that if Matt Hardy gets another shot at his title and beats him, and Matt Hardy will be the champion. But if EC3 wins, he gets the servitude of Jeff Hardy. This was an awesome segment to start the show. EC3 gave the Hardy Boys some time to think about it, and the Hardy Boys came out later on in the show and accepted the challenge. And Jeff came out later. Jeff came out with Matt later in the show and accepted the challenge. First match of the night was Chris Melendez versus Eric Young. If Chris Melendez loses, Eric Young gets his leg. This was a pretty good match to start the show. Chris Melendez mostly controlled most of the match. Both men performed well. Eric Young won with a roll-up pin, and of course, per stipulation, Chris Melendez had to surrender his leg. Chris Melendez took off his leg, and Eric Young kept backing up and taunting Chris Melendez. First off, I gotta say as awesome as this segment was cruel. Screw whoever wrote this, and screw Eric Young for making this stipulation for a match. But I guess they got what they wanted, because I am pissed. If an amputee is a wrestler, his missing leg should not be the focus of a storyline. You should not have a match like this. I hate it when you have amputees on wrestling and you exploit their disability. I hate that. So screw whoever wrote that, and screw Eric Young for what's it. Eric Young is becoming an awesome heel, man. I'm a huge fan of his, but I hate him for this garbage, man. This right here was taking it way too far in comparison to the previous stuff he's done, man. Okay, let's get to the X Division Championship match between three-way X Division Championship match between the defending champion Tigre Uno, Sanjay Dutt, and DJZ. Awesome. This was an awesome X Division match. All three men performed well. You got to see lots of moves. I especially enjoyed the exchanges. Mostly Tigre Uno and DJZ controlled most of the matches. They double teamed Sanjay Dutt. Love the exchanges between Sanjay Dutt and Tigre Uno. And match ends with Tigre Uno hits a springboard frog splash onto DJZ for the 1, 2, 3, thus retaining his X Division title. Like I said, awesome X Division Championship match. Next match of the night was one of the matches I was looking forward to. The tag team match between the Wolves, Eddie Edwards, and Davey Richards versus the Revolution, Abyss and Manic. Awesome tag team match here. Abyss started it off with Davey and performed well, but it was Manic who was like the MVP in this match. He wrestled most of the match in Manic. I saw Manic 11 years ago at TNA Victory Road 2004 in the X Division Gauntlet, 20-man X Division Battle Royal Gauntlet, and he has come a long way since then. I then saw him again in 2008 on NWA Wrestling Showcase, the precursor to Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, which you see right now, wrestling Adam Pearce for the NWA Heavyweight Championship. And now he was also on Lucha Libre USA as Cinico. He's went from being international international indie star to being a major player in TNA. At first, he was just a preliminary wrestler in TNA. Now he's a major player in TNA, and he showed tonight why he is a major player in TNA. This match right here, like I said, was just awesome. The Wolves win with their finisher. I'm watching the match again right now. I'm watching the replay of TNA. That's how awesome this show was. Um, the next match of the night, I really didn't care much for this match. I mostly liked what happened at the end, and I think it was a knockouts title match between Brooke Tessmacher and Velvet Sky. Velvet Sky. I didn't care much for the match. At the end of the match, the Dollhouse came in and attacked Velvet Sky. Attacked Velvet Sky. Then Rebel made her triumphant return, pretending to help Velvet Sky, but instead joined the Dollhouse in attacking Velvet Sky. And Terrell appeared on the Titantron, telling 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 Velvet Sky, telling Velvet Sky, telling Velvet Sky that she should not have interfered in matters that don't concern her, and should have minded her own business. The the main event, the match I was looking forward to, the four-way X Division match between Robert Roode, Bobby Lashley, James Storm, and Mr. Anderson. This right here was an awesome four-way match, man. Awesome four-way match. Good performances by both men. Good performances by both men. Happy to see Bobby Lashley in the main event, and happy to see James Storm in the main event. Probably what will be one of his last matches with TNA. And happy to also see Anderson in the main event, and Robert Roode, as I predicted, Robert Roode. I remember reading this in the spoilers, but I forgot since then, since that was a couple of weeks ago. Robert Roode wins with the Roode driver, I think. With the Roode driver, I think, for the 1, 2, 3. I think he pinned I can't remember who he pinned for the 1, 2, 3, but it was definitely an awesome match, man, and for an awesome match. Now the segment that ended the show. This was Dixie Carter responding to Jeff Jarrett's request to run Impact, to run Impact Wrestling, to run Impact Wrestling. Dixie Carter came out. Dixie Carter came out. Dixie Carter and Jeff Jarrett came out. And right before Dixie Carter would agree to it, Drew Galloway came out and told Dixie Carter to wait a minute. That Drew Galloway went over the fact that, first of all, he wasn't suspicious when Bully Ray was attacked, because Bully Ray is a bully and he's not the most popular guy around. But when he was attacked and no one saw it, there were no witnesses. There were no witnesses. He became suspicious of the fact that he was taken out of the King of the Mountain match. He was taken out of the King of the Mountain match, so one of the GFW guys could do it, and of course now he's trying to gain control of TNA. Jeff Jarrett told him that there's no truth to what he's saying, and that there's air between the both of them, and both of them got in each other's faces right before Drew was gonna make Jeff Jarrett confess. Karen Angle comes out and says it was her, and that she did it for Jeff Jarrett, and that sometimes you gotta take chances, and something about lighting a liar for a big fire, something like that. Well, anyway, while Drew was distracted, Jeff Jarrett low blow Drew Galloway, and all of the GFW roster came out and attacked Drew Galloway, and the TNA roster led by Spud came to the rescue, and they all got beat up, and it ended with Jeff Jarrett and GFW standing tall, and that Jeff Jarrett is now taking over Impact, that is now invaded Impact Wrestling, and thus now officially the GFW invasion of TNA has begun. Like I said, awesome segment to close out an awesome episode of Impact. This episode of Impact was awesome. The wrestling was awesome, and the non-wrestling segments were awesome. I didn't mind a lot of promos tonight. All the promos and stuff were good. Not the last ones weren't good, but you just didn't want to see them. But these promos right here were awesome. All right. Dug out.